cocktail worthy. I think we need something a little stronger.
I think so. This might not be strong enough.
All the people that make life miserable, make life dangerous. What if we can change things?
The Death Note movie.
Netflix original.
Netflix original, Adam Sandler produced, probably. Ryan, what did you think of Death Note, the American live-action Netflix original?
Surprisingly better than I expected, but by no means a worthy telling.
That's a good way to put it. Better than expected.
It was just a lot better than I was thinking it was going to go going into it.
That's not to say that it was good.
By no means.
This movie's kind of a abnormality, I would say, because I feel if you haven't seen the anime, you're not gonna like this. But then again, if you have seen the anime, you're not gonna like this.
The human whose name is written in this note shall die. Shall we begin?
As far as positives, like, it looked really good.
Yeah, it was shot really well. It was really dark when it needed to be dark, and then
It certainly had more. It was more of a, almost more of a horror type thing, at least in the way they shot it. Like anytime you saw Ryuk, I never say his name right. And I mean, Ryuk looked really good too.
he looked really good.
They kept him in shadows, like you never fully saw him, and that was good. Like you didn't need to.
He's got the good eye glow.
I feel like the director, I don't know who directed this, but whoever directed this wanted to make a Blade Runner movie and got stuck with Death Note.
Well, he got that gun in there.
He got the gun in there, and a lot of the lighting was very Blade Runner-esque, like a lot of neon saturated kind of scenes, and lots of rain.
Well, it was Seattle.
That's true, so that makes sense.
The music, though, was not at all Blade Runner.
No,
It
wasn't even Death Note.
There was a lot of 80s pop song kind of feel to it.
Yeah, which was kind of odd. Like, I remember Death Note, the anime, has a very distinct score that I like a lot.
Right, yeah, it's got one of the better.
It's kind of this creepy, very minimalist feel in this.
There's a lot of piano and
yeah.
just...
So, the characters in it, I mean, I liked the guy that played Light to a certain degree. You did not.
I absolutely loathed the actor and his portrayal of Light.
It's not Light Yagami from the manga or the anime.
It is absolutely not. It is Light Turner.
Oh god.
And he's the worst.
It's like, let's actionize Light Turner. I mean, I like that they gave him a little more sympathy. He doesn't turn into the megalomaniac asshole like he does in the anime, but that's part of the best part of the anime is him becoming this insane person who thinks he's God. And they took it in a different route, but I can also see why people hated it, because he's not the best. He's not the worst, but he's not the best by any means.
But then you didn't care for L.
I did not care for L at all. I felt it was more of a improvisation or almost a caricature type portrayal. Like, I don't know any of the actors' names in this. Like the guy playing L should have brought his own interpretation, because you can't top anything in the anime. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know if it's different in that. But you can't top the performance from the anime. Like, and they have more time with the character and all that. But like this guy was just.
Like he tried too hard to just recreate.
Yeah, he should have been his own thing, you know, like obviously there's gonna be hate for this because it's like, oh, you're making American whitewashing the anime, all this crap. So why not do your own thing as opposed to try and just do the same thing?
Yeah. I feel like definitely of all the actors in this, he was probably the only one that knew about the anime or knew about the manga. Everyone else was just like, they had no idea of the source material, so they just kind of made their own thing. But I really enjoyed L in this.
Yeah. I was very on the fence about him, and then like at the end he kind of goes crazy, which seemed very out of character. But then again, if it was his own character, then it would fit into that. But
well, I mean, I looked at it as he starts out kind of just reenacting L. But then things happen different in the movie that happened in, the anime and the manga, and so he took it, his own route.
Right.
That's how he felt L would have acted.
And that.
So it took him some going, but he got there.
Yeah.
And making L his kind of own character.
I mean, I could see that. But it just wasn't. I didn't like L. You didn't like Light.
Mia was surprisingly one of the better.
Yeah.
In the anime, in the manga, Misa is just.
Misa is a very annoying character in the anime, and like you understand like her point in the whole thing. But in this, she was a little more conniving and more involved with.
Right.
Light.
She wasn't solely in this for Light. Like she had kind of her own agenda when things went south of how she felt things should be handled.
I also like that she didn't have her own Death Note. Like
yeah,
I like that in the anime, that being a separate thing in the anime where she has her own and is doing her own thing. But in this, I like that it was just the one. I kind of wish we would have got to see Rem though. Like,
Rem was my favorite part of the anime.
He's pretty good. But yeah, she took the character and did something different with it. Now, whether that was the writing or actor's interpretation, I'm not really sure.
What exactly can I do with this Death Note?
Put your name down and see what happens.
It's not gonna solve a few crimes. It's gonna solve all crime. Do you think that I'm crazy?
I think you're not crazy enough. We could change the world.
I was shocked at how graphic it was.
Yeah, it was surprising.
There's some crazy kills in this.
That first one really. I was not expecting.
I was not either. Like the guy, what was his name? Kenny Doyle. Kenny Doyle.
Good old bully name.
Gets decapitated via a ladder, and that's kind of Light's introduction into how the Death Note works and all that. That was a good scene. I feel like that might have been something that the anime was missing a little bit. Was more of a
kind of a graphic.
Sparingly. You don't want it like too much is too much, but this was like enough to. What am I trying to say here?
Well, it's like in the time that they had, they were able to use a lot of graphic deaths and it not seem too much.
Yeah.
Really no build up to what he was trying to do. Like, because they rushed it. It was all rushed.
Yeah, it's very fast. I guess that's why Mia kind of gets in it with him, so that way there's a little bit more motivation to him doing it so fast. So as far as a recommendation, what would you say for this one?
Watch it once.
Watch it once. I'd say it's kind of hard. Like, if you're a fan of it, I'd say watch it, because there's stuff you might get out of it. Like, but if you're not a fan, I feel like you're gonna be lost, because it doesn't take its time, and it's like it needs to be slowly drawn out. But unfortunately, you're getting all this information in one.
Right.
And I mean, that would be off-putting to me if I had no idea what this show was. So.
I feel like it's good. Like, if you don't know anything about it and you watch it, and if you at all enjoy anything about it, definitely watch the anime. It's also on Netflix.
Yeah, check out the anime as well. Like, Yeah, you could watch this, and if it gets you excited, then go watch the anime.
And it's significantly better. The sub and the dub are both really well done.
That'd be kind of an interesting thing. Someone that hasn't seen it, and then they watch the Netflix movie, and then ask them how they feel about it, and then have them watch the anime and ask them how they feel about that. 'Cause I'd be kind of intrigued to see what their response was.
Right.
I promise you, you will not survive.
What they want is a god. So let's give it to them.
All right, I think that's all we have to say on this. If you have a Netflix subscription, you might as well watch it. You're already paying for it, so drink up.
Enjoy the show.